So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan here again, and this is another mechanical video or day-to-day around the house, depending on which way you want to look at it. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix an air leak that develops on the swivel fitting of most air hose reels after they get a little older. Air leaking from these swivel fittings is a pretty common issue to have. There is a couple O-rings in that fitting, and they tend to get flat spotted or just wear down over time and develop that leak. And all you have to do is take that fitting apart, replace those O-rings, and you're good to go again instead of having to replace an entire hose reel. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. Now, you do need to keep in mind while you're watching this video that there are several different styles of swivel fittings that can come on an air hose reel. However, to the best of my knowledge, they should pretty much all come apart and be disassembled and repaired in generally the same concept of the one that I'm going to show you in this video. Now, we are Amazon affiliates, and I will put the links to some of these swivels along with a link to an O-ring kit that should help you repair a lot of these swivels in my description if you want to get any of those coming. Now, let's get to it. So right here, you can hear me hook up my air hose at my compressor to this hose reel. And as soon as you hear me hook that up, you're going to hear the air start leaking from the swivel fitting on this air hose reel. Now, the biggest problem with hose reels leaking like this is not the fact that it's kind of annoying that it is leaking, is how much extra strain you're putting on your compressor by having to keep up with that air leak and how much more it's going to have to cycle on and off in order to keep up with that air leak, which can drastically reduce the lifespan of the compressor that is feeding this hose reel, which obviously is much more expensive than the hose reel itself. So obviously the first thing you'll have to do is go ahead and disconnect your air hose going to that hose reel, whichever way you have that attached. Now, because I wasn't quite sure of the style of swivel this had, I did decide to take the fittings out of the end of that swivel just to get them out of the way, and this wasn't absolutely necessary. It's just something I decided to do. And whenever disconnecting fittings like this, I highly recommend using 2 wrenches, or in this case, I'm using a wrench and a pair of pliers. By holding the swivel fitting and then loosening the other fittings, you don't put any added stress on that swivel fitting while you're trying to get those other fittings off. Once those fittings were out of the way, then I just grabbed a wrench and loosened the swivel fitting away from the hose reel. So keep in mind, depending on the air hose reel, this might be a little different, but the overall concept should be pretty similar no matter what the hose reel you have. Once you have the swivel fitting off of the hose reel, then usually there's going to be a snap ring, which is what this one had, but there is a couple other types of clips that might be used in order to hold a swivel together. So if you have one of these other type of clips, I will put a video at the end of this one where I had to repair a garden hose reel swivel, and I do go over the different type of clips and what you need in order to remove those in that video if you need to check that out. So in order to remove that snap ring, you will need a pair of snap ring pliers. And I will put a set of snap ring pliers that would work for this situation in my description if you need to get those coming. Basically, you just make them so they spread. When you squeeze the handle, you put the 2 dimples in the holes in the snap ring and spread it apart. Sometimes these snap rings will loosen right up and come right off, and sometimes they can get hung up in that recessed groove depending on how old the fitting is. Sometimes when I'm struggling getting these snap rings out of their grooves, I'll spray a little penetrating oil around the snap ring and let it sit for a couple minutes to help loosen it up and make it easier to remove. It can also be helpful to try and twist the outer housing of the swivel while you're trying to spread open the snap ring. Sometimes that'll help break it free. You can also just barely squeeze the pliers and then try and rotate that snap ring in the recessed groove before trying to fully open it in order to remove it from the shaft. Before going to remove that snap ring, it's a good idea to take a mental note of the gap in the snap ring. And the reason for that is when you're going back together, that's the same gap you should have. If the gap is bigger when you reinstall that snap ring, that means it's not all the way in the recessed groove properly. And that can be a little dangerous because of the amount of air pressure that is on that swivel fitting if that snap ring pops off. Once removing that snap ring or whatever clip they're using to hold the swivel together, you should be able to just remove the inner part of the swivel away from the outer housing. So depending on how easy the inner part of the swivel came apart from the outer housing, it might be necessary to take some emery cloth or some very fine sandpaper and just kind of clean up that outer housing. Sometimes if that swivel fitting is really old, The inside of that housing where the seals ride will get a layer of corrosion built up on it, or film, and there's a possibility of that corrosion or whatever damaging the new O-rings when you go to slide it back together. So right here you can see I've got the inner part of the swivel, and you can see the two O-rings that are on that shaft. I'm just using a little 45-degree pick in order to remove those O-rings from that inner part of the swivel. When going to do this, I highly recommend you put it in a vise if you can, if you have one, because as you can see, I almost shoved that pick right into my finger, and I know better than to be doing this. I don't know why I did it. So now that I've got that swivel fitting properly secured in a vise where my hand isn't directly underneath where I'm trying to use that pick, I'm using that pick to get underneath those O-rings and pry them up and out of the recessed grooves that they are sitting in. And as you can see on that first one, instead of even prying it out of there, it just basically fell apart because it was so dry and brittle. So once you get those O-rings out, the fun part is trying to find those O-rings. If your basic hardware store doesn't seem to have them, your best bet is to go to a hydraulic hose repair shop, because they usually have a wide variety of O-rings to suit anything you might encounter as far as that goes. And if you go somewhere, I do recommend bringing the swivel with you to make sure you can try those O-rings out while you're there in case you need a different one. So here's a good example of that. The first O-ring that I thought would work, I put on there and I could not feel the lip of the O-ring over the top of the shaft because it was a little too thin, which means if I would have put it back together like that, I probably would have had the same result. So I went ahead and removed that O-ring and then got one size thicker O-ring and leveraged it up and over the shaft and into the recessed groove. I usually put the most outer one on first, because then the second O-ring won't get caught in the first recessed groove. It basically slips over the other O-ring. It might also be necessary to use your pick in order to get it up and over the recessed area and into the groove it's supposed to be in. Once you've got the O-rings in the recessed grooves, you need to get your pick or whatever you use to remove them up and underneath that O-ring and go around a couple revolutions. This removes any twist that got in that O-ring from trying to leverage it up and over the shaft. If you don't remove the twists out of that O-ring before reinstalling it, there's a good chance that you're going to shorten the life of that O-ring, or worst case, it might not seal at all. To ensure you have a proper fit of the O-ring, just take your finger and feel the shaft. You should be able to feel just the top part of the rubber part of the O-ring sticking up above the shaft. Here's a close-up look, and these O-rings were a perfect fit. Once I was confident in the fit of those O-rings, then I just grabbed a little bit of O-ring lube. In this case, I used this Pool and Spa lube. By lubricating the O-rings, it ensures that that inner part of the swivel is going to slide into the outer housing without possibly pinching or cutting the new O-rings. I can't emphasize how critical it is to make sure you match up the O-rings properly. If you end up getting too small of an O-ring, obviously the air is going to go right by it. And if you end up putting too large of an O-ring on there, there's a good chance you're going to cut or rip that O-ring as you go to reinstall the inner part of the swivel into the outer housing. You want to be rotating the shaft as you go to reinstall it into the outer housing. This will also help not to rip or tear those O-rings as you go to install it. And as you go to install it, you should feel those O-rings slipping into place. If you don't feel that, then your O-rings are too small. And if you end up with chips of rubber after you install it on the outer part of the housing, that means you cut that O-ring and you need to take it back apart and get a little smaller or thinner O-ring. Once that's done, all that's left to do is go ahead and put the snap ring back in place by spreading it open, sliding it over the inner part of the shaft, and making sure it clips into the recessed area. Sometimes I will set it on the outside of the shaft and then just kind of tap it in place to get it to pop into place on that recessed area. Make sure you check the gap between the two holes of the snap ring to make sure it was the same as when you took it apart. Once the snap ring's in place correctly, then all that's left to do is go ahead and thread that swivel back onto the hose reel. There's no need for any Teflon tape or anything like that on the threads of that, because basically all this is a double-ended bolt that threads into the hose reel and into the swivel in order to secure that swivel to the hose reel. Now, depending on the type of swivel you have on your hose reel, they do make swivels where the air does run through it, and you do have to put pipe tape in order to seal that air, just not on this specific hose reel. Once doing as much as I could by hand, I just grabbed a 7/8 wrench and finished snugging that down. Once the swivel was tight into the hose reel, then I did grab some pipe tape and put it on the pipe threads that were on my fittings that I adapted over to my quick disconnect for my supply hose and tightened that back down. Then went ahead and attached my air hose to the supply going to the hose reel and gave it a try. And what do you know, no more air leak at my swivel, which makes my compressor work a lot less trying to keep up with that air leak. So that is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and it gave you some good information. If so, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. The whole concept of my channel is to give you guys the most information in the least amount of time as possible so I don't waste your time. And I hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Later.